Hello, everyone. Grayson Goff here with the Paintball Super Cup down in South Africa, and I'm going to be breaking it down for y'all today. We'll do a quick little breakdown and talk about. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this field layout. First impressions right away. I like this field. This is definitely. I feel like it's going to be an exciting field. And where I'm drawing that from. First off, we got a long connected snake. Love the long snakes. Ends up generally making it a quicker field because the team that can control a long snake, get into it, keep the other team out of it, generally is going to do well because they can cruise right down to the opposing teams into the snake and get quick kills. Also, Dorito side, a bunch of big Doritos lined up. The 50 Dorito is wide on the tape, which means it has good cross shots, and it can also see down the wire. Both these corners, Dorito side and Snake side, are a little inset, so it doesn't give them the ability to really fully control each wire. So again, these things allow for aggressive play. We also see, it looks to me like this field is going to be. It may be a little bit difficult to shoot players off the break. We have basically this jungle right here on the snake side that should block. I feel like it should block quite a bit of shots off the break. Now you can shoot over these pins, but like this wing right here, if you're shooting over the pins, it may be tough to shoot this wing. So there could be a sliver, a gap to shoot through. But again, those are tricky shots. You shoot, half a foot to the left or half a foot to the right in the wrong direction, and you're hitting these pins, not shooting the lane. So, like, this wing could be very makeable off the break. It's something you guys, little variances on a field. Nobody can set them up perfect, can change how this plays. But it looks to me like these lanes aren't going to be too solid. On this Dorito side, same thing. You got these big Mayan temples. They're going to block a good portion of that side of the field. Now, the one thing you can possibly do is obviously go heads up to both this can and Mayan Temple, laning heads up. Those could be some decent shots. Dorito side especially, because you're literally going to take 2 steps out and you're going to see the corner in Dorito 1. This can, though, should be a pretty safe spot to make off the break. Back center, I don't think he may have a lane there shooting over this small temple. But for the most part, that's probably going to be your safest spot because anything wider than that, it's pretty open. It's pretty, that's 20 feet to the next bunker. So, but So what do I expect? I don't see. There could possibly be a cross shot from this can that makes the Dorito corner and Dorito 1 more difficult to make. But again, I looked at this Mayan Temple. I thought maybe there's a good cross shot from here. I don't think so. This temple is going to block some of it. These trees are placed to me. It looks like really well to prevent that cross shot and prevent easy kills off the break. So. Again, you guys need to walk it. You need to take a look. If for whatever reason when you step on the field it looks wide open, okay, I may have missed this one about that. But to me, it looks like you can take some ground on this field, take some risk, and really try to be the aggressor because I think that those are the teams that are aggressor on this field are going to win. Again, I just talked about the laning for the most part, but the reason I think it's aggressive field is this right here. Anytime we see that long connected snake, it's basically a big 40, 50-foot force field on one side of the field. If you can kill their outside guy and you can control this bunker, what it allows you to do, obviously, is go all the way to the end of it and just shoot people in the back. It is going to be a little tricky to play because you have these pins almost blocking the snake 2 shot. Obviously, you can back up and shoot out of it. But obviously, your real goal isn't really the 50 snake. It's getting into their snake. Whenever the pin, you have to play a pin in the snake, it becomes tricky because that curved bunker, you pop up right here, and your gun sticks out to shoot. You don't want to be too far out on the wire because you could get shot from the corner, or maybe they have a snake one. But if you're too far in, then everyone can see the tip of your barrel. They can see maybe the tip of your loader, even your hand, because of how curved those pins are. So you're really not trying to stop at the 50 at all. You want to go, if you have the opportunity, you want to crawl all the way to their snake, and that's where you can really do your damage. There is a huge gap right here. So getting to the snake, if there are some decent lanes over here, getting to the snake could prove tricky. Now I think this wing is makeable. Obviously, I think the corner's makeable. Snake may be really pushing it. That snake is pretty far down the field. The good thing though about these two bunkers is that they're two different lanes. So as long as you're giving the opposing team different looks, you take the wing one game, you take the corner one game, they have to pick and choose their lanes. They can't shoot one lane and kill both bunkers. So being unpredictable on this side will be good. And even some games you can break short even to this temple, or play a real big pocket and go straight only to this can, but you got to get out. You have to get out quick. In terms of really supporting the snake player, if this corner's good. You can see down the wire to some degree because these are all small cakes, so he can do a really good job protecting you. He can also, these pins may block some highway moves to some degree, but I like the corner in terms of like where the support player should try to get. If you've got these guys trapped, this wing's not bad either. But in more times than not, I'd like to be in the corner. You're the widest you can be. You're gonna be able to stand up in it because it's a tall cake instead of down on your knees in a wing. So yeah, that's kind of where you want to be. Again, remember the goal of this snake, not the 50. We want to get into their snake. We don't want to give away a free kill. You did the hard part of making it into the snake. Don't give them this body by popping up at the 50 pin and getting clipped in your loader or barrel. You can play it to some degree, but you have to be very, very careful. So let's head over to this Dorito side. Again, we kind of see we got a huge bump right here. This is going to be, again, it's similar to the snake. If you can make it across this gap, whether you take the corner off the break, I don't really know about taking this Dorito off the break. That looks very risky. But again, if you're able to get across this gap, either into the corner or into Dorito 1, it looks like you should be able to cruise down the side. Big Doritos, all right next to each other, pretty small bumps to get through. There's not really much, I guess some teams could sit in this can and try to lock you up. Because they could shoot over this small temple, but when you're in a big Dorito and if you're an aggressive player, you have 4 spots you can theoretically come out of to engage somebody, put them in, and move down the field. So I could see this Dorito side also playing very aggressive and games being won from over here as well. Obviously, your goal here is this big 50 Dorito. Shots open up cross field on that snake side. So that should be your goal if you're the Dorito attacker. If you're the Dorito support player and you're able to trap them, say you have them trapped in this can or even in this as short as this temple, you really should be following right behind your Dorito guy and applying that pressure to the outside of their bunkers. This could create some problems for you. You need to be careful. You don't want to go to follow your front player down, go to a spot, and then you can't see you can't see them and really apply pressure to trap them. So make sure, again, like I said, if this temple moves 1 foot or 2 feet this way, that could be a shot. So you may want to follow Dorito 1. Now, if Dorito 1 can't see that, maybe you stay in the can a little bit longer, let your front player get set up and wait for a move straight into that Dorito 2. Even potentially going up to this Mayan temple. Usually I tend to stay away from that because the distance between these two bunkers is big enough that if we have them trapped in this can, say we're 50 Dorito, you're the support player, you come up to this Mayan, the big Mayan temple, you're kind of risking potentially getting shot across field. It's a big bunker, but there's potential there if you lose dominance on the wire. And the fact is that this guy, if he's a good player, can play the Dorito guy, and you really can't put pressure on him. You can shoot at his bunker, try to scare him a little bit, but he knows the distance between these two bunkers. Dorito attacker's playing the tape, you're playing the tape. That he can, if he's playing tight, just play one of you at a time. He can try to punk out your Dorito guy, and then he moves on to you, and then you're stuck in a really bad position. So be careful about that. I'd rather see you in this Dorito too, where literally if he comes out on your attacker at the 50, you have a shot on him. You're going to be able to see, his loader, the hand, barrel. You're going to be able to put a lot of pressure on him, make him not even want to come out, and potentially even help your Dorito player move into their Dorito. In terms of playing the center, it definitely looks playable. I mean, we have this big Mayan temple leading into another smaller temple. This could be, a very good center play in terms of, okay, if they broke short on the Dorito side, filtering into this temple right here, and potentially even going into their temple and shooting some guys across the field. Now, you'll probably die here shortly after, but that is definitely a very possible move. You could even try going straight up the middle, or even from this can releasing up into the mini race, and again, up into that temple, shooting guys across field. If you're looking for a quick point, maybe that's something you kind of put in your back pocket and use it when you need it. Because I think that could be a really impactful move. If you do it quick and you see the correct breakout. Obviously, if they break short on the Dorito side, it makes this a lot easier. You don't have to worry about anybody wide up here. You come up to the A or you come to this temple, you worry about anyone shooting this gap right here, and boom, you go into their temple. So, yeah, beyond that, I'm trying to see if playing up the center is probably going to be more relegated to this Dorito side. Snake side, it's definitely possible. If you get G's, and you can get up to this mini race, possibly the snake side of the A. You can really trap them here. Other than that, I'm trying to think of just some other things we haven't talked about. So, this right here, I don't know how playable that's going to be. That's just kind of there to be there. This temple is in a really interesting spot because if you can't get wide to the wing, you can't get wide to the corner. They're shooting you well off the snake side. That is definitely a bunker that you can take. The problem is to remain relevant in the game. You don't want to get stuck here the whole game. You really can't do much. You can't even see your mirror. But you're going to have to back up to go to the wing. It is a very possible move, but it creates that extra half step you have to take. So it's one of those things. If you are getting shots at break and you have to stop here, stop short, and then you're obviously battling trying to get out. You got to make sure you put guys in to make this move, because of that half second, quarter second. You're out in that open a little bit longer. That's not much time, but obviously we all know in the game of paintball, that is a long time. So, overall, for you guys playing this field, I'd really look to see what risk you can take on that snake side and apply most of your guns off the break on that snake side and try to win the battle for this 50 snake. Try to win the battle for the corner. Try to win the battle for this 50 snake. If you can keep them out of the corner, the snake, even this wing, and you're able to take this bunker, maybe not off the break, but early into the game, huge advantage. One last thing, in terms of the breakout, kind of a standard breakout, I would break short on the Dorito side, not give them a body to shoot at, and take a risk out here. A play that could work really well because of the distance we talked about earlier. The distance between these two bunkers is two different lanes. Taking one of them off the break, I'd honestly take the wing off the break, have one shooter, he shoots a lane for, maybe he shoots a quick lane over these trees and then trails the wing attacker to the corner. So he shoots for about a second and a half on a first gap shot, and then trails to this corner. And so what happens is their laners, see your guy running head down, or like, oh, he's going wing. So they all their guns come low on the wing, and then a second later, boom, you're sliding in the corner. Now you have two guys set up on this snake side ready to attack and push it. You got the guy in the wing looking to go into the snake. You got the guy in the corner looking to help him get into the snake. Other than that, guys, I mean, y'all got lucky. This looks like a fun field. If we run out of if we want to run out of field options this off season or looking for something fun and new to play, I am definitely going to take a look at this and have X Factor set this up at our paintball park. So, other than that, hey guys, good luck and have fun.